Hello everyone, welcome to Odyssey of Combat. This is qualifier number 8. So counting today, we have 3 more tournaments to go in our regular season. So the leaderboard is getting more and more clearer for us to see who will be the top 8 of players who will advance to the finals. But there is still quite a lot of people who are in contention for those final top 8 spots, I would say. And I am Janek, and with me is, of course, Galos.
Good afternoon, guys. How's it going? And yeah, of course, as Janek said, still some tournaments to go. Even today, we have, if I'm not mistaken, 49 attendees, which is a pretty good number. And of course, the quality of the names that we have even today is looking quite amazing, to say the least. I've taken a gander on the bracket. Cracker like a few minutes ago. Yeah, both of the characters got buffed. Luke probably a little bit more than Marisa, even though, of course, we've already talked a bit about the Marisa buffs on the previous week. They were somewhat significant, right, Yannick? But
yeah, they don't really fix Marisa's problems, but they definitely are relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see how Lil Fox is going to use them. Okay, we're starting with that fireballs knocking down Lil Fox. And we're going straight into the corner. Okay, this Kutum, we got the overhead, but we're not out of the corner yet. But we do have perfect parry with a back throw.
Ooh. Maybe no problem. Okay, seems to be all right now.
Yeah, some connection issues. I don't know if it's just spectator thing or if that's what. Okay, clearly that's something they are experiencing as well. Ooh. Going into con grab from OD Phalanx, a pretty unusual ender in this situation. It is the most damaging meterless ender, but very slightly more damage than doing something like back heavy punch into Gladius. Whereas that option gives better OOC, so I'm surprised to see it when it doesn't kill. That being said, Lil Fox was able to close out the round, so perhaps that was the better decision in this situation. That being said, this round starts very similarly to the way the previous one started. Both players with level 3 loaded. Oh, we're going straight into level 3, and this is going to be burnout. So, probably that's what Krakelak was thinking when going into it.
Still a run down as well.
Yeah, exactly. That being said, you can never count out Marisa. There's going to be no punish, but oh, okay. All the DP here is going to kill. I think that was actually guaranteed of light punch target combo in situation where Marisa is in burnout, unless Lil Fox was going to like call it out with a cancel into super, but
would be quite unusual, to be fair.
Yeah,
yes.
And this should be a kill, full drive bar. Okay, we're not spending much of drive, but this should kill anyways, because we're talking about Marisa here.
Yeah.
And he ends it with a perfect 1-0 to Lil Fox, so his winning streak continues from World Warrior. Well, he didn't win the World Warrior, but he did make top 8. Pretty far into top 8, I think. I don't remember exactly the position, but
Cracker like this seemed to be having a lot of fun with the Stand Fierce today, as she usually does, to be fair, but today it seems to be specifically prevalent.
yeah, it seems that we end up in the corner with Lil Fox facing the with his back to the corner rather, in pretty much every round. He's been able to fight his way back out of it. and he is 1-0, so... Oh, yeah, of course, the DI here, very risky against a Marisa. But definitely that is something that RealFox doesn't want to happen, right? Being put into the corner. Nice perfect parry against the Phalanx. And once again, we're in the corner, we get the shimmy.
Pretty good conversion as well. But again,
Yes.
As you said, Yannick, there seems to be a problem in the corner control. Most usually.
Oh, got the normal into ODDP, which is enough to break the OD Gladius. This is something that many players don't utilize. There are many situations where Marisa will do OD Gladius, will cancel into OD Gladius to call out an OD reversal coming, especially with something like medium punch target combo. This is very common. And the way you recognize someone who actually knows Marisa matchup really well is they recognize that you're doing it and they will go into light, into ODDP to break the armor with the pre-hits. Of course, this is something that Marisa can also call out, and this continues to be a mind game, but many players don't walk into that mind game at all. And they just swap between doing an ODDP and just defending.
They don't
That
even
being
unlock
said-
that layer, indeed.
Yeah. Kakelak is in burnout, but RealFox close to it as well. We're back in that corner that we spent most of the game in. We go into level 3, this is not going to kill yet. That being said, we're going into the corner, this time it's Kakelak in the corner, but Marisa's Oki in here is pretty lackluster. You see, RealFox did not drive rush there because if you drive rush after level 3 or CA, you actually cannot block a wake up super. Oh, this Tutum confirmed that Kakelak was hesitating and got the command grab, and that's going to be it for this set.
I think
We've seen him once or twice, I think.
Yeah. I've seen him quite a lot in ranked, mostly because he's from he's from the UK. I've seen him quite a lot, and the Realda as well. Pretty good French player. Of course, favors his Terry. Haven't seen him play with any other character. But to be fair, in this patch, Terry is looking honestly better than ever, which is indeed a.
Yeah, and he wasn't looking bad in the previous patch either, so...
Exactly. It is indeed something, so...
No, blocked the reversal, and this is going to be it for the first round. Exactly. No need to spend any super bar. Man, that color on Honda though, it is sticking out the red a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, hadn't seen it yet. Probably ranked color number 6 could be.
Could be. I'm not that familiar with with the colors here.
Nonetheless, it is looking pretty good. But what's also looking pretty good is that bait from the Norilda.
Yes, and this should be level 2. We spent everything, and this is going to be game 1. Thank you, Gurk Slukan. Good enough.
Our native
not-
Swedish resident Swedish
for
JP, yeah.
gifting 5 subs. We're very generous of you. Thank you very much.
Get a
Are you
counter
playing
into
tonight
the
or are you watching?
I don't think I've seen his nickname in the bracket, but I could be wrong. Of course, in the meanwhile, Norilda is getting the corner. Gonna go into burnout with that DRC though.
Yes, but with that life lead, I don't think he feels particularly threatened. Of course, you have to be wary of that TI, but with that HP, with that level of HP, TI is becoming less of a threat because he cannot take anything into, on the armor. So, and he manages to get the chip kill when Chill Switch burned himself out. And this is set point for Norilda, so this is going pretty quick in his favor. Let's see if Chill Switch has something left in the tank.
Let's see, it's not looking particularly great.
Yes, Drive overhead hitting Mitty. Oh, this is going to be a punish. Oh, not a huge punish though. But this is going to be it, I'm afraid. 4 round strays for Nerilda.
Very dominant, to be fair. Very...
But yeah,
like,
ISDD with Yasmin though. We haven't seen that many Yasmins. And from what I know, you are the Yasmin expert here, so...
Yeah, about that. We do have to talk about that specifically after the match, Yannick, because I have some news. But
you're not a Yasmin expert anymore?
I mean, I still have some good infos about the character because I played her a lot, considering she's still new. But I do have some news regarding that match. But yeah, of course, I still have some infos on the character. I'm still the D pressuring pretty well with the stand fierce. But the problem is, when you put yourself in a point-blank situation, -3 versus Manon, well, that is definitely not advisable in most situations, as we can see.
Yeah, exactly. I was told this is exactly the reason why the Zangief matchup is pretty bad, and I would imagine any other grappler like Manon would be the same.
Yeah. I would honestly agree.
Oh, that's going to be huge damage, and 5 medals on Lechat already. Yes, I've seen quite a few tier lists come out from some Japanese players, Japanese teams. Also the one with which was collaborated on with Mena as well. And in almost all of those, Yasmin is in bottom 3.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel that she's lackluster in some areas of the game, to be fair. Specifically, of course, her damage conversions are not that great. But that being said, though, let me just say that Lechat is going to take the first match in a quite speedy manner, to be fair.
Yes,
Calling out some. Tell me, Alex, sorry.
Do we see a character switch now? I would expect a character switch.
Oh, we actually don't.
Okay. We don't. ISDD wants to stick with Yasmin then.
Of course, many of the complaints as well, Yannick, as I'm pretty sure you have heard. Oh, that's a -6 into EXTP from I'm Still Daddy. But of course, many people complain that her normals are quite stubby, even for a rushdown character in Street Fighter 6. To be fair, I agree with most of it. And
the DI is going to hit airborne for that DP. Lechat is getting 1 more medal, and he's going to put himself on set point. Very dominant set so far from him. And I wonder if ISDD has what it takes here to take it all back. He's going to have to do it all with Yasmin in this set at least.
Exactly. As it is, of course, FT2 format.
But it looks very higher for now.
Going very, very aggressive with the drive gauge management. But a good check on that heavy spin.
And that's 4 medals. That might actually kill.
I would say so, yeah. I would agree with you, Yannick. Let us see. What does the survey say? Yeah,
it says KO. What did she get any significant buffs?
Yeah, I would say 2 specifically. So the EX roll, they took like 5 total frames of the roll. So instead of 34, it's 29.
Okay.
And of course, on block now the crouch medium kick instead of -4 is -3. Which means, of course, that with PR drive rush,
it's plus block.
Yeah, I think those were the best 2 changes for sure. Her walk speed is still looking great, and her buttons, of course, are really good as well.
That being said, Wainan already working his way into the corner against Black Iron guy and making short work of him in this first round.
Already getting the first round indeed.
I wonder how familiar those players are with themselves. Does anybody know how tight the Swedish FGC is? Do they like have many locals?
That would be a very cool information to have, to be fair. So of course, if you guys know in the chat, feel free to spread the info.
Do they play against each other a lot? Because, for example, in Poland we have one monthly local, and we do also a online monthly. So most Polish players would be somewhat familiar with each other's playing style, especially since our community is pretty small. I wonder how it is for Sweden.
That is a very, very good question. But a Black Iron guy does have the... Oh, I honestly quite jinxed him. He still has the health lead. Not anymore though. Good. Very good confirm on that counter hit overhead from Winer.
Yeah, finds the driver's overhead and gets the kill. And that's game 1 for Waynon. That doesn't seem to be that Black Iron guy wasn't quite able to keep the Waynon away, which is what I would imagine Guile wants to do in this matchup. Although Akuma probably one of the stronger characters in terms of fireballs in this game.
For
Not
sure.
stronger than Guile, but a fireball war with Akuma is probably more difficult to take advantage of as Guile than against other shotters, I would imagine.
For sure. Especially, of course, considering the existence of both the level 1 and level 2 fireballs from Akuma. I do think it is a very, very good tool to have in this matchup.
That punish counter throw killed, of course, Akuma health being a factor here, I guess.
9k smile, you already know. But the flash kicks are looking very, very good from Black Iron guy today. Some very, very solid anti-airs, as usual, to be fair, but today specifically, and even, of course, against Akuma, it is typically a lot tougher to do.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, doesn't get the anti-air on this one, but finds the OD flash kick here against the charged fireball. Oh, and that DI is going to hit, and what's going to be the combo? Oh, the combo is going to be dropped. I wonder if Waynon was going to go into level 2 to get close to burnout, but now he doesn't even have to think about it because Black Iron guy is burnt out.
We're looking at a fireball war right now. And to be fair...
Oh, I don't think that's what he wanted.
Yeah.
I would imagine that was supposed to be level 1, maybe?
Very well could be, yes. With that being said, though, this burnout is looking very bad for Waynon, and there's the equalization.
Yeah, and that's very early punch in the air. That looks like a dropped fireball as well. So I think there were some crucial execution errors from Waynon in that round. Black Iron guy able to capitalize on it, and the set is equalized for now.
Yeah, that's a good EX boom from Black Iron guy, winning that fireball war, and of course being rewarded with the mix that will get him the corner. Back to mid screen though. Ooh, wow,
very good conversion. Yes, and Black Iron guy has the lead now. It seems that he has turned this set around a little bit. Let's see how long he's going to be able to hold that advantage, or maybe he's just going to be able to finish this round soon. Waynon getting very close to burnout, of course, one hit away from dying as well. Those two DIs, that looks a little bit desperate. Not sure what he was aiming for, maybe trying to find a sweep or something? I'm not sure.
Could be.
That being said, Black Iron guy capable of finishing that round, and he is the one on set point now.
The DP from Waynon, especially considering it was a heavy DP on that range. But still, it did work. Ooh! Udry!
Was a little bit too afraid of that con grab, of course, jumping back so he couldn't get the punish on it. But it seems to me that Waynon is unusually high risk today, at least in this set.
Yeah, I would agree, Janek. That and also... Tell me.
That being said, this confirm into level 3 is going to put Black Iron Guy into burnout. Oh, but Abare is going to hit him, and this is not going to kill, I think, even on Akuma health. But oh, and that makes it very difficult. Oh, good drive rush into DP.
Ooh,
and gets the safe jump. And we're going to final game, final round.
Let us see.
When finding his clutch muscles in the end of that round. Maybe this is what he needed, the confidence buff he needed for this set. Because as I said, many options for which he was going for before that were looking pretty desperate. And now he seems to be playing a little bit more solid. And he is the one with the lead now. That being said, very close to equal.
Oh, the wish confirm wasn't there, unfortunately. Black Iron Guy is gonna finish with the level 1. Tell me, Yannick.
And the question is, because we've seen a few execution errors in this set already, was this...
I do have something else to
Ichifi
say about the Elena situation. Something that happened yesterday with my mentor as well. She basically said, along the discussion, along the conversation, yeah, I think it's this time that Capcom gave Elena a gun, so Gallows, I think you should use it. Have fun. You like her, so have fun. And I was like, yeah, that's fair enough. Let's do it.
Fair enough. I do think the Elena matchup was pretty tricky for Marisa, even before the patch. So if you're saying that the patch was pretty significant for Elena, that might be difficult for Lil Fox. Those long-range normals, many of which hit below the armor frames of Gladius.
Very true.
It's not as easy to play neutral as Marisa against Elena, I would say.
Yeah.
Difficult to fight a range at which you want to play. Very difficult to stay out of the pokes range for fishing with standing heavy kick, for example.
Yeah, for sure. I do think that, as we've already said many times, like Elena's mid-range, honestly, I think it's one of the best in the game currently, considering, of course, her walk speed as well. I do think it's one of the best in the game. Of course, we still have characters like Ed, we still have, of course, even Akuma, Terry, of course, all the Shotos, but I do think that...
Yeah, that was light phalanx, so it's very difficult to react in time. Basically, you have to call it out if you want to DI it.
Very, very early, of course.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the case, unfortunate for Streets here. Little Foxes.
Oh, but that DI was correct. I think he did react to Lil Fox using and Lil Fox taking some huge risks. Basically every decision this set so far.
Okay, corner advantage for Streets. Little Fox though being very, very proactive as usual. But that's gonna be a pretty good confirm from Streets. Won't even need a super to kill.
Yes, and as I was saying, when you see Marisa go into Scutum, if you are outside of the con grab range, you can wait for her to do anything and DI, and even if she doesn't do anything, you're going to hit the recovery of Scutum with the DI. But of course you have to be wary that you should not press the DI too early, because if she doesn't do anything and if you just react to Scutum itself with a DI, she's going to take it on the armor and counter hit you, which isn't actually that scary of a position to be in, but you'd rather take the guaranteed punishment, right?
Yeah, of course.
And Streets taking a short work for that game 1, and Lil Fox is going to have to find some different approach to the matchup, because so far Streets has been running those streets.
Yeah, for sure. His lane is looking pretty good. The confirms are there, of course, as we see it showcased once again with the crutch median kick target combo and that interaction. But I would even argue.
Yeah.
I would even argue, Yannick, that the momentum in the beginning of the previous match, it seemed that it was in favor of Little Fox, which is kind of curious. But Streets adapted really quickly, I think.
Yes, I think Lil Fox took way too many risks in that first round and didn't recover. Oh, that drop confirm is going to hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, luckily for him, Elena not exactly the most damaging character, but that light kick driver's cancel into common grab, pretty risky option, but catches him trying to parry. And this is the round that Lil Fox needed. Okay, so he's going for more charged heavy punches now. Good reaction to the driver's cancel. Of course, the super is an OS. Okay, going for the heavy punch target combo.
Pretty good find there for Lil Fox. And this find on the Quadriga as well is gonna give him the corner.
Once again, driver cancels into level 3. Oh, but he doesn't cancel into Gladius. He could have killed here. Oh,
No punish on the side.
but charge sweep is going to make it. He crushed her foot.
Indeed.
Nice.
Indeed. Wow, DP on the Quadriga. Okay. But that's a good check as well. Ending on the Gladius from Lil Fox. This round, of course, beginning in a very, very proactive manner from both players. Let us check now. Okay, punish counter throw from that DRC.
Catches him low. And of course, Elena, one of those characters with pretty good overheads, I would say.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it's not that unusual for people to just hold back instead of down back when waking up, if they don't feel confident reacting to the overhead.
If I do
and
recall
this-
correctly. Tell me, Yannick.
Yeah, I was just going to say that Streets is going to take the round and put himself on set point.
I was gonna say very quickly that if I recall correctly, I think it's a 20 frame startup overhead from Elena, and of course, in terms of range, it is definitely one of the best in the game. So
Yeah, Yeah, Lil Fox finding one more of those charged sweeps. Of course, charged sweep for Marisa is a pretty cool tool because, well, that's one way to make a sweep safe on block. It's still -3, but, well, -3 on sweep is pretty good, I would say. And also, this is something that I've noticed myself, and Streets has done it as well. When you actually land a charged sweep on someone, the chances they will wake up with a DP are like 50% higher than with any other knockdown in the game. I don't know what is it about this move, but it's very consistently makes people wake up with the DP. That being said, Streets is going to find a hit into level 2, and this is going to be end of that
Then I
set.
see JP versus DJ as well, Yannick. So let us see.
Yeah, we don't really have JP players in Poland nowadays, so I didn't get to see Shady playing against any JPs in Poland. Although Shady versus Juicy Joe is a match that happens sometimes on World Warrior. But I don't think the patch has affected this matchup significantly, from what I remember. I'm not even sure if this match happened in the last World Warrior, so maybe I haven't seen it on this patch either. No, that being said,
It yet. So,
Izor is going to wake up with DP here. Rapid, of course, ending the first round with a perfect, so Izor is going to have to work his way out of that deficit for now. But that being said, this round looking a lot better for him. Now both players in burnout, but Rapid is going to get out of it pretty rapidly.
No
And we're
pun
going
intended.
to level 2. Oh, it was absolutely intended. And this combo might be it, so first game goes to Rapid.
In a very rapid fashion. No pun intended, of course, once again. But it was indeed very quick.
Yeah, getting those hits on a rapid fire, you could say.
True, true. Oh my god. Okay, good find on the crouch medium kick there from Izor. He's gonna get also the shimmy from it. And of course the corner situation. Looking very, very good in these first 20 seconds of the second match.
Oh, he gets impaled on the DI, but doesn't get the punish counter, so you know it's not bad. Another DI. I'm guessing he's trying to call out those back sways. Not sure what other... Or maybe what's the solar plexus that DJ got this patch? What was the normal? The forward kick that's plus on block and has proximity now.
Yeah, that was probably one of the biggest buffs, if not the biggest buff that DJ had this patch. I would argue that
you can call it out with a DI, right?
You can, yes, but it's a little bit tough to do on reaction though. I feel like.
Yeah, so maybe that's what those DIs were for, from Rapid. Oh, goes into Amnesia, into level 1, trying to save himself with that projectile from Amnesia. Finds the corner grab though. That being said, Izor one hit away, and he's going to find the throw just as he spent all of the resources to try to get one more mix-up. And that one more mix-up is what nets him the round and equalizes the set.
Definitely a very, very good adaptation from Izor. Using some more tools, even though Rapid is, of course, trying his own methods to try and, of course, counter the sway, for example. And, of course, the forward advancing buttons from DJ as well.
Yes, Rapid so far finding a few hits in this round. Not many confirms though. Oh, and that punish counter is going to lead to some damage. Decides to go for level 1 as well. Oh, good DI this time. Of course, Izor in burnout couldn't cancel that those jabs into anything. Oh, but he falls out of the combo from level 2, but he didn't block on wake up. I'm not sure if he could have blocked that, because chip kill was also a threat in that situation.
Yeah, I think he would have died from chip as well, honestly.
Yeah, so he tried to somehow maybe jump out or dash out or whatever, but that didn't work either. And Rapid is on set point now.
Pretty good try reversal there, especially considering, of course, Izor is in burnout.
Ooh, finds the teleport, and now Izor is in the corner. He does have level 2, so there's not going to be any checkmate situations. Although he might not need a checkmate situation because this is going to kill.
Yeah. That's crazy. JP still has the D. Of course, the damage.
And also this is something that has been infuriating me about tier lists that has been coming out, because when I see characters like Dalsim being put below Marisa in a tier list,
yeah,
I'm like, you guys can't be serious.
Totally agreed with you once again. Like I've been saying this even in season 1, right? Even when, of course, Dalsim was being put like in bottom tier consistently, I was like, I think people underrate Dalsim quite a bit, especially now, of course, but still.
Yeah, they've been underestimating him for quite a long while now, but I think season 1 specifically, maybe it was more justified because the reversal was -8. And as we know, nobody loves drive reversal more than Dalsim players.
Yep, very true. Very true.
That are trying to spin through that Sonic Boom, but the Sonic Boom a little bit too slow to allow for that. It's not that easy to spin through those projectiles, I feel.
Very active.
That being said, he did get in, gets the special overhead. And this should be it for the first round. I know Manon received some buffs regarding her combo routes with OD overhead special, but I think this particular route is something that has been there since the beginning. But I'm not sure.
I think so. But yeah, this patch once again. Ooh,
This time he gets the spin.
Yeah.
And now it's 4 medals already. Massive life lead.
One round up
round
as well. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is the situation Manon wants to be in, basically.
Very dominant, very threatening situation, of course. With that being said, Black Iron guy busting out the EX flash kick. I think for the first time in this set at least. Ooh, that dash up was menacing.
Yeah, I was wondering if we're going to get a common grab out of that. Oh, one more common grab, and this, yeah, is going to put Black Iron guy on very low health. And now he has to be very careful because any hit is going to kill. But of course, Leshat in burnout, so he may try to chip him out in some way. That being said, he's out of burnout now, so this is out of the question. I was about to say that Guile, a character that has some very strong chip setups with level 2. Fletchat finds the special overhead once again and finishes the round off. It is a special you can throw out a little bit because it might be minus 9 on block.
Exactly.
Yes, but it's pretty difficult to punish most of the time because of the spacing. You can try to also DI it on reaction, but that's also pretty difficult to do without like focusing all of your attention to it.
Yep, agreed. Definitely agreed on that one. I've tried to do it multiple times, for example, versus Tart. He's a Portuguese player as well. I do play him quite often. And yeah, it's
Oh,
it's quite
drops the combo,
difficult.
but oh, was it a drop or was it a reset? Because that
Could be a reset.
command grab looked.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it was a panic command grab. It looked like he knew that was going to be meaty.
Yeah, it looked very organized. Too organized, to be fair. Yeah.
Ooh, a little bit too far with that overhead target combo.
Playing some good footsies here with, and Black Iron guy will find the sweep. Ooh.
Finds the reversal. This is 5 medals, so this is going to hurt. And I think this is going to be burnout.
Almost burnout actually.
Almost burnout. Yes, and now Black Iron guy cannot afford to get hit, and probably cannot afford to block anything. Oh, it's the second wish confirm that misses that we've seen today.
In the top 8.
Yes, of course, Vexel showing off his age with his CFN.
a certain yeah, I won't even say it.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, I know it's a brain rot meme, but what exactly is it? I'm not exactly sure what Tung Tung Sahur is. I know just that you say Tung 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 Sahur or something like that.
I think he's a fictional character, so to speak.
But what is he supposed to be? Because, for example, Cappuccina Ballerina, I know what it's supposed to be, right? Like Bombardiro Crocodilo, also quite self-explanatory, but Tung 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 Sahur, I have no idea what that's supposed to be.
Yeah, every time I saw it, I think it's like some kind of vegetable or something, like a turnip, I don't know. Could be something else though, I could be sorely mistaken. But of course, correct us in the chat. With that being said, of course, Tung 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 Sahur, aka Vex. Already with the roundup.
Yeah, and in this round it's also looking pretty good, especially if you look at the drive gauges. Oh, but with that OD snatcher, that could have been a burnout if Dims had blocked it. That being said, Dims is going to find confirm into level 3. And this is going to be close to killing, if not killing outright. Yeah, it's going to kill.
Yeah. Let us see.
Oh, not killing actually. But he gets the meaty chip kill. Of course, Vexen could have woken up with a super, besides not reactable, of course, in the situation, but he definitely isn't too worried about getting the final round with 3 bars advantage.
For sure. Definitely a very, very good advantage, and the air to airs are definitely But definitely here today from Vexel.
Yeah, I know that you sometimes can also get some kind of juggle combo from that button. Oh, that level 1. Ay. And this is going to be close to burnout. Yeah, Vexel is going to get burnt out. So what looked like a very good round for Vexel suddenly doesn't look so simple nowadays. Now, and yeah, it seems that the meter advantage is not going to come into play, unfortunately. First game to Dims.
Very contested match though. Like as you said, it was quite the turning of the tables in those last few interactions in favor of Dims. Let us see how Vexel reacts to this.
Also a little bit confusing that Dims is sporting the Polish national color and Vexel is not.
I mean, true. There's a little bit of white missing from Vexel's outfit. Just a bit though. He has some white in the gloves though. Not that I've...
Yeah, I suppose technically. But the Drive Tech costume for Ed looks a little bit weird because you can see that his legs are a little bit. Well, let's just say Ed has skipped leg day a little bit, and you can see it in the Drive Tech costume. So maybe that's why Vexel is not using it.
Yeah, he wasn't born with the best like calf genetics as well, just like me. But yeah, I can definitely see it, Yannick.
Ooh, that DI is going to hit. And yeah, level 2 is going to put Vexel into burnout as well. And Yuri's level 2 is a very interesting one because it's not usually the level 2 super that people talk about when we talk about the oppressive level 2s in this game.
But it should be.
But it should be.
Yeah. In my opinion, yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's definitely not a weak one, and if you know how to pressure with it, it is very difficult to defend against. That being said, Vexel goes for a chip kill here. Exactly, and he equalizes the set.
So, pretty good reaction here from Tung 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 Sahur, aka Vexel, of course. From the Microwave Nation. Okay, good EXTP OS. Starting off pretty good from Dims, and once again, an EXTP on that gap. And he will find the
out
corner.
those cancels into Snatcher. Maybe Vexel a little bit too predictable with those. But after those DPs, he's probably going to go for them a little bit less. He's going to get the message, I think.
Again, corner situation favorable for Dims. And again, the third EXTP that we see this round.
And this is a point that people don't often talk about in fighting games, because I don't know if you're into poker, but I recently watched a interview with Daniel Nagranu. I don't know if you know him, a professional poker player, and he talked about how if you see your opponent is favoring a particular option, it is not the optimal idea to always go for the option that counters it. Because if you constantly counter what he's constantly doing, they are going to realize that you're doing that, and they're going to stop making that mistake. Instead, if you just slightly favor the option that counters what your opponent does, there is a high chance they're not going to realize that they're over-representing an option that's mathematically...
continue doing it, yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like this game theory optimal approach to fighting games, while the idea of applying game theory to fighting games is talked about, this specific concept I think not many people apply. And it's a very interesting way to think about fighting games, I think.
Agreed. I do know the player. I'm not that big into poker, but I do know Daniel for sure. His name is definitely talked about a lot, and it is a very interesting perspective for sure. It can definitely be applied, especially in a game like Street Fighter 6 as well.
Yeah. That being said, we are on final game, final round for this set, and Dims is going to take the lead for now. Vexer also very low on drive, and he's going to be put in burnout. This is a very difficult situation now, and Dims is going to take it with a perfect.
Dims. Another team kill, by the way, in winner semis.
Yes, and before we start top 8, I'm just going to remind everyone that we have Maturino codes to claim still. There's still 8 codes remaining, so if you want to help support Odyssey of Combat, please claim those codes. And if you're feeling very generous, you can also contribute to the prize pool directly. As I said, 8 codes left, so if you want to be among those good souls who help out, there are 8 spots left, 8 free spots left. That being said, we are starting the top 8 with Rapid versus Streets.
Exactly.
Really good drive rush through the Ghost, manages to hit him before the Ghost activates. Oh, but Rapid teleports out of the corner, but Streets is going to throw him back into it. And now he's going to get out of the corner. We're back in the center of the screen. And despite the health deficit, I think Rapid... Oh, I wanted to say Rapid is in a pretty solid position, but just as I was about to say, Streets finds the drive rush overhead. And this is going to be round 1. And of course, since this is top 8, we are going to go to FT3 format now. So there's going to be enough time for... Ooh, that was a very good time teleport. Gets the back throw on the roll from Streets. Ooh, that slide was punishable despite the drive rush.
Point blank, it is -10 on that slide. And that was pretty much point blank.
We're going to go into level 2. Rapid is going to be put in burnout. He does have a super, so it's not over yet, but this is going to be very difficult to make a comeback from Rapid. But he does manage to find a CA, and this is going to put Streets in burnout, and he is going to recover. So, does he have a checkmate from level 3? Oh wait, it's way too far from the corner. What am I saying? Although he might get it. Oh, okay. The roll through the projectiles, because of course chip out was a threat. Rapid goes for a drive reversal to try to keep Streets at bay. But it's Streets who finds the final hit in that final round, and he is the one who gets the first game.
Exactly. And it's honestly looking very, very good for him. Even though Rapid is making some adaptations, and he even did that in the first match. Of course, as you said, Yannick, FT3 now, so a little bit more time to adapt.
Yeah, that first game definitely could have gone either way, right? So I wouldn't exactly despair just yet if I were in Rapid's shoes.
Good couple of confirms from Rapid as well. These last couple of interactions, he's gonna get the offense from the ZX Ghost, but this will kill from Streets.
To level 2, it's going to kill, yes. And I feel like we haven't seen that many opportunities for Rapid to go into level 2 in this set so far.
Agreed.
And I feel like this is a huge part of JP's power budget. Although, of course, as an accountant, he has hedged that power budget a little bit.
Okay, it's a pretty good punish from Streets with that very long reach stand medium punch target combo.
Both players just pairing in the neutral. When this combo is going to lead to some damage, and Rapid is going to be put in burnout, but so is going to be Streets. And now with both players in burnouts... Okay, Streets confirms into level 1, close to death. I was about to say that situation of both players being in burnout favors JP, I think, because level 2 becomes that much harder to defend against. But once again, Rapid couldn't put himself in a spot where that level 2 would be a threat. And now we see a character switch to Bison. Interesting. I don't think I've seen him play Bison.
To be fair, I think it's his secondary. Yeah, when I said that he doesn't favor anyone but JP, I think I've seen Rapid play Bison as well, so I kind of lied on that one. But yes, it's definitely a secondary for him. Definitely JP is still his main. Let us see if it indeed works, as it is of course 2-0 for Streets already.
Yeah, it seems to me that it's a kind of a weird decision in terms of matchup, because, well, Bison has a lot worse defense than JP, obviously. And I feel like his neutral buttons are not particularly better either.
Yeah, they're good, but of course JP's can be better for the mid-range specifically. Yeah.
So I feel like with how this matchup has been going, Bison might make it even more difficult for him to find his footing in this matchup. But let's see, maybe I'm wrong.
Let us indeed see. So far, so good for Streets. That is a very, very good confirm into the EX spin.
Yes, and this is going to be one more decision, and that shimmy is going to be it. Streets, very decisive win.
To be fair, from my experience in the lane, I would definitely prefer facing a Bison, yeah. But again, it is what it is.
Okay, now we're going to move on into Dims versus the chat. So once again, a French team kill. Something that we have on this tournament pretty often. But this particular matchup I don't think we've seen before.
I don't think so, yeah. At least for tonight we haven't, most definitely.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think
punish from Dims.
I do think that we rarely see this character match. So yeah. Stand short.
Yeah, those DRCs into Con Grab have been hitting today. That being said, it is a risky situation, especially since it's pretty rarely a true mix-up, although I guess for Manon it might be, because the Con Grab is 5 frames. So it might be a true mix-up in this situation. We've seen Lil Fox do some driver cancels into Con Grab earlier as well. But of course Marisa's Con Grab is always 13 frames at least. So usually this kind of pressure is much more fake. Oh, good punish on the sweep though from the chat, and that's going to be 4 medals. So if he manages to win this round, he's going to be pretty happy with final round. That being said, that DI was a little bit ambitious. Luckily for him, Dims decides to go into OD DP instead of DIing back. Oh, but that level 3 as a reversal is going to be huge.
4 medals.
4 medals. Not quite a kill, I think. Oh, actually a kill.
Quite impressive, to be fair.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if CA killed there, but level 3.
Yeah, I was very doubtful on that one as well, Yannick, for sure. But the punishes from Lashad are being very, very consistent today.
Ooh,
very good
another Con
awareness.
Grab, and this is going to be huge damage. And I think Dims has just enough HP to survive one more Common Grab, but not much else.
Maybe not even, to be fair. But could
Yeah, it's going to be close, I think. Dims burns himself out, trying to find that one more hit, of course, with option to cancel into super. It would put him in a winning situation, as you can see. And this is indeed what happens, and Dims takes the first game in this set.
Very good confirm to finish it off for sure. Of course, that absolute wall of, I think it's the forward heavy punch from Judy, if I'm not mistaken. Either forward heavy punch or forward heavy kick.
I'm not sure. That being said, we see Dims jumping those coin grabs now. So the question is this a message to Leshat that the conditioning has been successful, or is it going to be just a consistent counter to the kind of pressure Leshat likes to apply?
That is indeed where the poker comes in, for sure. For sure. But nonetheless,
so far it seems Dims stays in control of this set. But Leshat is getting those medals, stacking those chips.
Exactly. It does seem like a poker chip a little bit. Besides the symbol, of course. It does seem like a chip.
Yeah, kind of. It is round.
Exactly. That's the only characteristic really that indeed is similar, but alas. Indulge me a little bit, Yannick. Indulge me a little bit.
Leshat takes this with a perfect though. So you could say he doubled up. He does have 4 medals in this final round, so that level 3 is going to hurt, as we've seen already.
Which confirms on those low forwards from Dims. Just finding a couple of successful hits from them. Good DP as well, maintain the corner, but
we get the wake up level 3 once again. Or rather reversal level 3 once again.
She even says good night in, at least in the Japanese version. Mano says good night after the level 3. I did not realize it until today.
Oh, and this is going to be huge damage, and I think this is going to be a kill for Dims. All those games so close, but it is 2-0 for Dims in this set so far. And this is going to be a very difficult comeback to make for Leshat now.
He's always finding those last couple of hits that he needs. And very close to the corner as well. It is a common theme.
Yes, the clutch factor is definitely working out for him. Light kick into common grab.
The tick command throw. Leshat is favoring that option a little bit more. And as a result, 4 medals, 1 round up. It's looking very, very good this time around.
Yeah, I think this is something that we've seen in the sets from Leshat, that he lays the coin grab down a little bit, and then he does multiple in a row. When the opponent is no longer believing that they are coming.
It does seem to be like that, yeah.
And this round definitely looks like the breath of fresh air that Leshat needed in this set. He does get put himself on the board, gets himself that win. And now he's 1 game closer to making that comeback.
Ooh, that's a very good stand roundhouse from Dims, though, getting that punish counter and the corner. He's gonna get the burnout as well from these sequences, and yeah, it's looking very, very good. Especially considering no super from Leshat.
Yes, and I think with level 1, or even without level 1, this is going to be a kill. Oh, never mind, this is going to be a kill with level 1. But if you look at the bars,
not so different, right? No.
Yeah, exactly. Very close, despite the fact that Dims is the one who spent a bar. So not really putting himself in deficit for that round 2 even.
Looking very, very ahead, in fact. Okay, lunges in.
Oh, that's a 1 reach too far. That being said, not that much of a punish, of course. Manon not that punishing for those DPs before she gets those medals. I would argue.
I would say the same. 3 medals. Gets a very good confirm on that driver slow forward. And Dims insisting on that forward heavy. I think it's forward heavy punch. Correct me if I'm mistaken. Very insistent on that move, on that wall of a move to be fair, but...
Yeah, and Leshat finds the jump in to keep his dream alive in that winner bracket run. But this is once again a set point for Dims, so... and this might be it.
Once again,
Yes.
finding the kill near the corner.
Yes, Dims takes it 3-1. Unfortunately for Leshat, he was not able to equalize the set. But a valiant effort nonetheless, and of course, this is not the final word from him
Dims,
because there's...
which is always good to see. Of course, I'm gonna be a little bit biased always for my boy Streets, for my brother Streets. Every time he appears in the OOC, he tends to do some very good performances, but so does Dims, to be fair. Very, very good young player from France. Of course, our next match is already gonna be underway though. It's gonna be Black Iron Guy versus Chico. He's gonna favor the jury for this one. And of course, while Yannick is in the bathroom, I'll be taking the lead for the commentary for this match. Okay, good confirm here from Chico. With that crouch medium punch DRC. Gonna get the corner from it. Gets a stock there. 2 stocks, 3 stocks. He's gonna do a very, very good light check there to keep Black Iron Guy from advancing from the corner.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, let's go. We're already underway.
Okay, it seems there's some connection issues.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it seems they're back to playing. Oh, and that projectile trade is going to go in favor of Chico. And Chico going for Yuri. Which is a character we've seen him play before.
Yeah, exactly. I'm honestly... I do think that the jury might be a pretty decent pick in terms of character matchup. Could be quite balanced.
Yeah, as we've seen, the projectile trades can be in her favor. And so you don't really fight a projectile war against Jory as Kyle. So you're not exactly stopping her from getting in, perhaps, with that fireball that easily.
And of course the walk speed is also a very good factor. Jury having one of the best walk speeds in the game. Some very, very good normals as well. A very good footsies character. Even though she's considered rushdown, she can play footsies very well.
Yeah, Yuri definitely defaults this character.
Yeah, for
some people.
sorry, Alec. I don't have a as well. That one got me. But yeah, for sure.
Although, what I wonder is how good is flash kick against, because Yuri's one of, I would say, strongest moves is that her jumping stomp. I think it's heavy punch? No, heavy punch?
I think it's down heavy punch, yeah, you're right.
Down heavy punch, yeah. I wonder how good flash kick is at stopping this, because it is a move that's very difficult to entire for many characters. Whereas I feel... ooh.
Sorry, go ahead.
I feel like flash kick should be good at entiring this regardless. So maybe that one strength of Jury is a little bit nullified in this matchup.
Even then, very, very fast walk speed, very good normals to contest some of course, Cal's fireball attempts. As we see right here being displayed, again, Caster's Curse as always, for a classic for the OC, as you know, guys. Both me and Yannick tend to, you know, jinx the matches a little bit. It is what it is.
Yes, the strongest sorcerers in the FGC.
Or so they say. Oh my goodness.
Oh, gets the parry on that sweep, and yet Chico is going to take that round. And it seems that Chico is in control, and it's pretty difficult to say what the adaptation even should be from Black Iron Guy. Because while you don't exactly have to play as owning Guile, I'm not sure that a more aggressive approach from Guile is something that's particularly strong against Yuri either.
Yeah, honestly, Chico is making this character matchup look like it's pretty good for Yuri. Not gonna lie.
Oh, and well calculated drive damage gets instant stun onto Black Iron Guy. And this is going to be a quick 2-0.
Exactly. Of course, Black Iron Guy gonna stick with his trusty Gal.
Yes, we haven't seen him play any other characters, so it would be a little bit of a surprise if he picked something else. And maybe a sign of desperation. That being said, this perfect parry is going to be huge. Decides to go for damage instead of a back throw. That being said, he is out of the corner, so that's the least he could do to get out of a difficult situation.
Exactly. Very good crouch fierce there on that slightly ambiguous jump.
When we're going into level 2, Black Iron Guy immediately direct reversal link, which is a little bit dangerous. Because in most setups, Yuri can block it.
And his plus as well, so...
Yeah, so it is pretty dangerous to go for it instantly. But he was not afraid of it. Got the drive reversal, but it didn't save him from losing the round, and Chico is on set point now.
Exactly.
The good news is he doesn't have any super for now. But he might not need it if this is going to keep going the way it has been going for the entirety of this set, and with level 1 this is going to be it. Yes.
Yeah. Let us see. Yeah. It will indeed kill. It's gonna be a set win for Dims. And of course the Sobat as well. But
well, Sobat is not that bad for Marisa because the armor, but OD projectile is pretty strong for DJ.
yeah,
I would say his OD projectile is much more threatening to Marisa than Giles, for example.
a lot of hits.
Also, he doesn't have to spend OD to have a 2-hit projectile.
True. Can do the heavy. Yep.
Okay, we're not going for the safe jump. Interesting, he went for the phalanx and not for the safe jump. He went for the crouching medium frame kill. That's an interesting setup. I don't exactly remember what options it goes into. But I think it might be one of those setups where you try to set up some midis that are safe to drive reversal. I know Marisa has a few obscure setups like that. If you're looking for something safe to drive reversal specifically.
Ooh, good check there from Miser. Good preemptive button with that.
Oh, but with the
that
level
also.
1 in that combo. Oh, but the perfect parry on the drive rush heavy punch, and he's going to throw him back into the corner. Oh, good backdash. And the back throw was fast enough to actually get a punish counter there. Which is unusual because Marisa has one of the slowest backdashes in the game.
Okay. Gets the knockdown there from that punish. Miser, but let us see.
Charged heavy punch, jumps, oh, gets the autocorrect flash kick. Of course, he doesn't have to do anything with the input to get it, apart from just timing it right.
Exactly. Just delaying it a little bit. Isn't it enough?
Not going to finish the Dima. I wonder if that was a drop to confirm into level 3. And speaking of drop confirmed into level 3, but no punish. But this should be a kill, or very close to a kill. But CA...
With the CA, yeah, most likely,
yeah,
right?
This is going to kill.
There it is. First match going, of course, to Lil Fox.
Quite a bit of spaghetti in those final moments of that round. But Lil Fox coming out on top in the end.
Okay, both. Of course, Izor is keeping his DJ. Couple of pokes from both sides, but the Kojig is gonna find his mark.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how people reacted to Quadriga buffs. Because the +1 on the heavy Quadriga, I would say not that impactful unless your opponent is in burnout, because it's only +1 and you're not in throw range even. And it's still a pretty slow move that you can perfect parry on reaction or even DI if you're looking for it.
Very true, very true.
That being said, we do see Marisas using Quadriga a little bit more in neutral. But it is definitely a lot stronger in terms of burnout pressure, but I haven't seen many people use it in practice for that purpose just yet. Oh, and that level 1 is going to whiff, and Izor is going to equalize the set.
I never realized that DJ uses flip-flops in this costume. Like, legit. I never realized that. I was looking at his feet now and I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, kind of like Akuma, right?
True, yeah. Definitely not advisable for in real life martial arts, I would say.
Yeah, probably. Could even be worse than bare feet, honestly.
Yeah. Especially if you're on the beach. I do think it's one of DJ's preferred locales.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's some strong pressure. We get the common grab, and what's going to be the offer here? Yes, going for the charged heavy punch. And this is an interesting setup that not many people, I think, know the intricacies of. If you common grab someone in the corner, you can charge heavy punch, and technically the fully charged heavy punch is going to land on 5th frame. So it should be counterable by wake up jabs, right? However, because of the spacing, almost all, if not all, jabs are actually going to whiff there.
Oh, okay.
Or trade with the heavy punch in some cases, which leads to an even bigger combo.
Yeah. Seems pretty favorable, yes?
Yeah, so that's a pretty cool setup. But of course it does have the weakness of you're charging the heavy punch, they can reversal perfect parry on reaction, right?
Yeah. Playing a little bit more patiently, Izor. Of course, managing to get it in his drive gauge up. Good find on that Fierce though.
Yes, and of course in this situation it's pretty difficult to use Gladius because Izor might be buffering super behind every single one of those Sobat kicks. That being said, a few opportunities to end the game for Lil Fox not taken advantage of, and Izor is not going to let that kind of mistake go free. So 2-1 for Izor. But yeah, when Marisa is low on health, you probably should buffer a super behind every cancelable special and normal to catch those ammo frames in neutral.
Gonna get the command grab from that Skutum attempt.
Oh, catches him with the light punch target combo and gets the round that way.
Ooh, what a call out.
Yeah, gets the +1 from the Quadriga. Keeps charging those back heavy punches. Oh, but this is going to be a punish regardless. Goes for the old OOC. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, and finishes it off with a Scutum. This is the round-ending special that I really like to use. The Scutum as a counter poke when the opponent is low, solo HP. That this will actually finish the round.
Very clever use of it for sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, the sway low though, finding a whiff punish there. But how dominant was the previous match from Lil Fox? Just wanted to point that out. It was honestly kind of crazy. Some very good reads. Speaking about good reads.
Yeah, as we call it on the Marisa Discord, those were some Marisa rounds. Oh, and that's not going to be it. Acer decides not to spend a super and finds a cheap setup instead to finish off that round, and he puts himself on set point.
Exactly. And again, another sway low, finding its mark and punish counter. Opts not to go for the level 3 there. Conserve this
small player with high drive, so decides not to spend it. He's going to spend it here to get the kill. And unfortunately for Lil Fox, this is going to be it for the set. Izor is going to take it 3-2 and move on to face Lechat.
Exactly.
He actually gets some good OOC from finishing the target combo as well. We can do Drive Rush, Crouching Medium Punch, which is +2 on block, and it is in throw range.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that seems very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is something that you didn't get mid-screen before. You were not in throw range before when you did it, but because of the changed knockback on charged heavy punch target combo, you actually get to do an actual strike throw shimmy mix-up from a mid-screen setup.
Yeah, that is very, very good.
Yeah, which is a rare situation for Marisa.
That being said, of course, we're underway.
Yes, Chico opting for Luke this time. But Rapid is going to get that first round. Going to bait out that DP from Chico. And as we said, Luke did get some meaningful buffs, and we've seen quite a few people in Europe go back to Luke. It seems that even Merkan has went back to playing Luke. Which, considering that he was playing Terry, I think is a pretty unusual decision. But of course, he did prefer Luke in Season 1, so perhaps he just wants to play Luke. This is the character that he used to qualify for the Capcom Cup the second time. But coming back to this match...
But yeah, let's go back. Good call out on that string from Chico, although it's gonna be quite costly in terms of meter.
Whips with that flash knuckle, and Rapid gets the whiff punish. He tried to do what I call the stone vessel, which is charging the flash knuckle to try to bait out the DI to then cancel into level 3.
A kind of a dirty bait DI setup. Alright, a dirty parry bait setup, I guess. But that being said, though, Chico is going to switch into the Jury.
Jumps out of the command grab, but it's a back jump, so he doesn't get the punish. But he's still in control of this round, for now. Some good defense from Rapid, and manages to find the anti-air. That being said, Chico still keeps him in the corner.
gonna be a
It's
very
getting
good
lower
drive.
and lower on drive gauge, and oh, that ODDP, really good reaction, really confident that he's going to get in time. A little bit greedy to set up a portal there from Rapid, and he gets punished for it.
Gonna go for the carry with the level 1. Also presents a pretty decent Oki.
Rapid trying to keep the match at a long distance for now. Doesn't get the punish on the Puha stock, and he's going to get the punish counter throw from that level 2. Not the biggest damage you could get from that, so...
Oh, that was a crosscut actually. Yeah.
Ooh, lands on that. I was thinking that he was going to be able to neutral jump that and punish it, but Rapid picks it up anyways and gets the round. We're going to go into final round. Chico, of course, still trying to equalize the set. 1-0 to Rapid for now. Rapid is getting close to beating that meter for level 2. Because a situation you don't want to be in, and exactly this is what we're going to get. Once again a mix-up, and Chico once again deciding to parry most of it. And
turned out pretty well.
Yeah, nullifies the mix-up. It is frustrating to only get a punish counter throw from this. Oh, nice reaction with level 3. Or maybe it was just a reversal. I don't know if it was a read or reaction. A good decision regardless, and Chico equalizes the set.
Probably an OS there.
Could be. Yeah.
But it of course worked out very, very well in the end, as you said, Yannick. Ooh, rare sweep. But he will find it smart. Slowly but surely though, Chico putting Rapid in his corner.
Yes, and we seem to be coming back to this corner over and over again in those matches, regardless of the result. So I think this is something that Rapid needs to fix eventually. He does get the side switch on that OD Amnesia.
He
does put himself in burnout though. Wake up level 1. And now he needs to be really careful about getting back thrown, because he would not be able to defend himself against a checkmate because he didn't have super, but he finds the hit and he gets the round. And he is now in the lead. Oh, but that OD Amnesia is going to get baited out by Chico. So not that much damage out of it. And Chico pretty low on drive, so if Rapid manages to get some amount of initiative, he might be able to make a comeback in this round. That being said, not much HP left to do that comeback, but tried to bait out the level 3, I think, with the driver's throw.
Probably was indeed the case, but
although this looks pretty close, I don't know if that would throw. I think it would be close enough that the level 3 would hit him, but I don't know.
And once again, Chico has been favoring a certain option today, which is of course the drive rush into the stock charge. It has been working, but alas, this time
Rapid close to putting Chico in burnout though, but really good maneuvering from Chico. Manages to avoid being forced to block anything and gets into level 3 himself. He's going to get back a lot of that drive meter. And now this is looking very good for Chico. Gets the trade on the entire. Oh, but Chico gets put in burnout, so Rapid might be able to do something in this round. Still. Opts to try to get some cheap damage for now. Oh, and the dive kick is going to be it. He is going to use the dive kick to change his trajectory to not land on that spike. And this is going to be enough to take game 2. Oh, and
Good
that
reaction from Chico.
yeah. And it seems that Rapid is taking more and more risks in those games. And he doesn't have any more room for Airgog. Of course, he won't be able to swap to Bison in this set anymore.
Exactly.
But I don't think you would want to. Oh, that
Versus
with
Judy,
throw.
probably not.
He does punish that with throw though. So maybe he'll be able to mount some kind of comeback. He is going to use level 2. Gets the throw, and it's early enough to actually pick up a little bit of a combo from it. That being said, this combo is going to put Chico dangerously close to being one hit away from winning. And he's going to go into level 2, but doesn't do anything afterwards. Was perhaps expecting the Drive Reversal or OD Amnesia.
Even a
And
level
that-
1 in a more risky manner, but yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely
and
shimmy
this
back.
is a really good result for Rapid. Chico spends the level 2 and still loses the round, maximizing his chances of a comeback in this game at least. Ooh, gets that trade from that amnesia pickup, despite getting hit himself. And Chico once again opts out just to parry the entirety of amnesia of the level 2. He is content with just getting punish counter thrown if Rapid goes for it.
Which is very
definitely-
reasonable, to be fair.
Yeah. And now both players are in burnout, and it's Chico who is using level 2. That being said, both players low on HP, so... Oh, and this might be a chip out.
Yeah.
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 So Rapid putting himself on the board, making that first step to the comeback. And of course this is loser's bracket, so he needs to make this comeback if he wants to keep the tournament run going.
Very, very good pressure from Chico. Tries the backdash shimmy. And he will find that hit on the low forward. To put himself in match point. In set point, sorry. And match point, of course.
Yeah, that as well. Setting up the portals. Are we going to see a teleport? Not just yet. Can we
start
see-
his offense with the drive rush? Tell me, Yannick.
Yeah, we've seen Chico go for quite a few reversals this set, and I don't think any of them have been blocked so far.
Honestly, yeah.
So maybe Rapid needs to maybe take a little bit of a look at that. Because there's definitely a lot of damage he could get from blocking one, so maybe he should respect those reversals a little bit more. That being said, Chico is in burnout with low HP, so he might be able, and he gets the sweep there. And he is one round away from equalizing the set now. Of course, Chico's still on set point though. Ooh, and once again we see that level 3 against that ghost. This is going to land, and this is going to equalize the drive bar, and of course put Chico in a significant health advantage. Rapid finds the OD Amnesia, doesn't get any damage off of it, but finds a doxing into level 2. Gets the throw. Chico lets go of parry just in time to not get punish counter thrown. And just a regular throw from level 2 is definitely not what Rapid was looking for.
Exactly.
Now he has to make this comeback the hard way. And that hit is going to be a good start of it, but drops the combo, but he's not phased by it just yet. Back throws him back into the corner, gets the overhead, burns himself out. I don't think this is going to be, or maybe?
Not quite yet.
Not quite.
But very, very close.
But that throw is going to take it, and he equalizes the set, which honestly it looked to me like it was pretty doomed. So shoutouts to Rapid for bringing it back in other places. So definitely a very good opportunity to play, even if you are not going to be in contention for those final spots in the final of the season anymore.
For sure. For sure. All of this being said, we're underway, approximately 15 seconds in. It's almost like a NASA documentary or like European Space Agency documentary.
Oh, good shimmy from Izor. Decides not to go for a combo with a knockdown though, and manages to put Leshat in the corner for now. Leshat manages to jump out, doesn't really pay much of a corner tax, but Izor manages to find one more hit and he's going to take the first round. Only one medal for Manon, so from that first round, so I would say Izor in a very good position in this game so far.
Yeah, it's definitely looking good. Even in terms of meter, it's looking very, very nice. He didn't need to spend any of it.
Oh, opts for the kick out of the spin and manages to clip him. You don't see that too often.
Okay, we're safe on that low follow-up on the EX
Izor
way.
working on that drive gauge of Leshat, it feels like. That being said, Leshat fighting with his own buttons and gets the punish counter, heavy punch, and decides to go straight into level 3. Yeah, from that heavy punch I don't think you could do much more. Like, you could finish the target combo, but that's about it, I think.
Yeah, you get a restand from the target combo if I'm not mistaken. Not a restand, but
and a reset, right?
yeah, I think it is, yeah, honestly. So this will be the 4th medal for Leshat. Slowly but surely. Getting those chips in.
Yes, of course, he's not going to be able to get the level 3 once again, but with how he's playing for now, he might not need it. One more hit is going to take it, and that level 2, I think, is going to be blocked, yes. And first game goes to Leshat.
Exactly. I think that in French, this can be translated into the cat.
Oh, okay.
Which is quite curious, yes. Chat, I think it means cat in French.
Makes sense. I don't know any French, so...
I only know just a tad bit. A couple of my relatives have spent a lot of time in France, so I do know some of it. But that being said, getting that special overhead in.
I thought it was like chat, as in, you know, Twitch chat, for example.
Oh, could be as well. Could be, to be fair. Could be English instead of French. We need to get that info afterwards, Yannick, maybe. Through our spies.
I don't know, our spies have been not exactly reliable in terms of names and pronunciation so far, so...
Shout outs to someone from the UK.
So I don't know if we want to ask them.
That's very true. We've been
doesn't get the follow-up on that slide. But Izor continues the pressure. Is he going to spend level 3? Not yet.
Will get the sway low. Doesn't get the punish counter though. Ooh, okay, good cross.
Oh, and this might go into level 3. Goes into level 1 instead. Just wants some damage, while still retaining some meter in case this round goes Avery, of course. Level 3 wouldn't kill here just yet, so... Spending some meter, but not throwing it out all in one basket so far. And we see why, because Leshat is he's going to manage to make a comeback. He's going to spend level 3 here, once again getting the comeback with level 3. And with that CA, we're going to go to round 3. And Izor basically on 3 bars already, so spending level 1 there, perfectly reasonable choice.
Definitely agreed. Very plus on that drive rush.
Ooh, good with punish from the shot. Resets into command grab. And now he's on 5 medals. I think next command grab is going to kill. The question is there going to be a next command grab?
Gonna be quite a chunk of damage. I mean, not that much, but still quite a bit. And he will get corner control from this Izor.
Oh, and gets the DI, gets the stun. And this is going to be a game for Izor.
In the end, it all worked out very well. Being more conservative with the bar. And of course getting that very important, if not one of the most important things in the game, right? That drive gauge damage with the level 3.
Exactly. Oh, and speaking of drive gauge, well, okay, he didn't go for a heavy punish, so the drive gauge on punishing that OD reversal wasn't that big. But he does get a medal out of it at least.
Oh, goes for the meaty kick follow-up.
Yes, I think I've seen +2 on that one with the frame data. So yeah, I think it was meaty. Oh, and good confirm into level 1. I'm guessing he was mostly looking for a potential DI because he was in burnout. But seeing the heavy punch hit, he just went ahead with the confirm. Anyways. Because I do think technically he could have just confirmed the heavy punch target combo, right? But if Izor was going to DI, he would get hit by DI if he went for that option.
We do see the Abare there from Leshat, but doesn't quite work out in the end. Izor will get once again corner control from this.
Yes, but one hit is all it takes from Leshat to finish this game. That being said, from Izor, one hit is also going to finish the round. And now we're going to round 3 with both players with level 3, which is a new thing for this set, because so far Leshat has had to spend level 3 to close out those round 2s. And now with level 3 and 5 medals, that round 3 might be a lot more difficult to navigate for Izor.
Exactly. He will find the jump in though. He will promptly spend the level 3.
Ooh, he's going to find another hit. And this is going to put him one hit away from winning and putting himself in the lead for this set. And indeed, he finds the hit. Leshat this time does not find a reversal level 3 or a confirm into level 3. And Izor takes the lead. He said, oh, that's a huge jump in.
Good crouch fierce there from Leshat.
I wonder if it was a misinput or a decision to not go into hit grab after that, at the end of that combo, because I do think that he could have. Maybe he preferred Yoki from just letting him fall.
Could be. Okay. Decent procs from Izor. Sway low attempt there, but...
Ooh, good. But good reversal from Izor to get out of that situation. Both players very low on HP. Leshat still on 1 medal, and he's going to finish this round with 2 medals. And he's going to put himself 1 round away from equalizing the set. 3 medals.
A lot more fireballs we do see from Izor here.
Yes, Izor notices that Leshat is using that kick follow-up from the spin and interrupts it this time. Oh, that being said, he
sneaky
was
DI.
not ready to react to the eye, but drops the combo, Leshat. Oh, and yeah, this level 1 is pretty difficult to punish on block, actually. I'm not sure if he could have, even with Manon. That being said, Leshat manages to find a way to equalize this set anyways. Of course, that level 1 from DJ does not have invincibility, so oftentimes you don't have to block and punish it, you can just interrupt it. But in that situation, I don't think any move that would be long enough to reach was fast enough to interrupt it. So I think he just had to block it and take the plus frames, unfortunately for him.
Good sobat here though from Izor. He will get the minus Rashid setup, I usually call it.
Yeah, the minus
Save
frames into OD reversal. I used to call it the Polish frame trap, but
That's a good name as well. And of course, Lesha right now on set
on the
point.
set point, yeah, with 3 medals already. It's a very difficult situation for Izor. 4 medals now. Close to beating that level 3 as well. So not many hits that he can take now. Oh, but Leshat decides to spend the bar and spend drive to burn himself out.
He will get the side switch though, a very, very important one to be fair, with the level 1.
Yeah, that's true, although if he still had some drive, the side switch wouldn't be as important, I guess. That being said, he is going to find a hit and he is going to end the set with 3-2. Again, a pretty close set in the loser's bracket. I wonder how this matchup is going to go with the character swap to Elena for this tournament. And I wonder if he's going to stay on Elena for the entirety of this set. If it were to go not in his favor.
It's also a very, very good question for sure.
Dims, I don't think we expect a character switch from him, regardless of what happens.
There's the EX spin. Way faster in this patch for sure.
Yeah, goes to the projectile but doesn't get the punish. And Dims manages to still put Streets in the corner. That being said, Streets fighting his way out, but Dims perfect parrying the slide and we're back to the same situation once again. And this is going to be the guaranteed DI. Elena, of course, no invincibility on that level 1, so after that punish counter throw, it was just a checkmate situation.
Exactly.
Oh, whiffs that driver's normal. Streets doesn't punish, but gets a hit anyways. And now it's Dims who is in the corner, but he's fighting his way out of it. Driver's overhead. While the menacing low projectile was also floating towards him. That's what makes it quite difficult oftentimes to block the overhead. Even if you react to the overhead, you have to be wary if the projectile will hit you first. That being said, Streets is going to find a combo with double level 1s, finish up the round.
I went silent for a bit because I was trying to calculate if he was gonna need another level 1 or not from that combo. That being said though,
Dims spending level 3 very quickly to get a drive back. And of course, with this amount of health left, there's not many mistakes Streets can afford to make now. Already woken up with a reversal once. He's not going to risk doing it twice, but Dims is going to find that poke into stock, and that's going to be enough to get the first game.
Very good find from Dims. Speaking about very good finds, that is a very good punish from Streets, and once again he will confirm directly into the heavy scythe as well. Very optimal punish.
Yes, and this round looks much better for Streets than the rounds before it. He is the one in control now, and nice with punish on that crouching medium kick.
Pretty good spacing trap there from Streets.
Yeah, gets a light kick driver's cancel into the combo and ends that first round with a perfect. But Dims doesn't seem too phased about it just yet. Interesting deciding to spend level 1 here to make the combo stronger.
I thought he was actually gonna do some kind of mid-screen setup, OOC setup from that. He opted to go just for the regular kind of OOC. Let us see
level
this
1
time.
once again.
Okay, he goes for the damage route and a very good roll into the. I think it's Harvest Cycle, the name of the medium follow-up. If I'm not mistaken.
You're the Elena expert here. If you don't know it, I don't know it either.
I think it's Harvest Cycle, yeah. It's the follow-up that of course has the most invisibility frames versus projectiles as well.
Yeah, but I was going to ask, is it normal for Elena to decide to just spend level 1 mid-screen combos? Is it how Elena mains have decided is the optimal way to use the meter for Elena?
I wouldn't say so, yeah. I wouldn't say so, Yannick. I would say it's more like a gimmick, to be fair. More for you usually do it if you want damage / some cheeky mid-screen OP situations with the roll mix. You can go into, of course, a high-low from it. You can go into the ORF from the stance, or just a low out of the stance. With a regular
it seems to me it's quite an unusual way of spending meter in this game.
Yeah.
To just go for level 1 in combos for damage, if it's not going to kill.
I would definitely say the same. But alas. Dims does get this round.
Yes, and now Streets has level 3, so I would imagine in this round he's going to spend to go for a level 3 if he gets the opportunity.
Couple of good mixes from Dims. Stand heavy kick as well. Ooh,
that's level 2 actually has a
two.
reaction to the projectile and goes for healing actually. Despite his drive gauge being pretty high anyways.
I think I'm gonna argue it's quite reasonable because of the health as well.
Okay.
But you could go either way there, Yannick, to be fair. I think both work alright. I would go for healing though, because I'm because I'm quite scrubby.
Oh, but that
being said,
reversal is going to get blocked, and it's Dims who gets the lead in this set. But yeah, I know that after the buffs, it's actually not that bad to go for the heal, but I still feel like most people mostly use it for the drive more than the heal itself, unless the situation is very dire.
Yeah, I think that healing is really good right now. But of course, since you get both of the meters, right, the HP and the drive gauge, if you only got the health, I think it would be like bad as it once was, right, when she came out.
Oh,
right
doesn't
now,
get the damage on that shimmy, and we're going to level 1 once again.
Fairly good damage. Okay, does get the throw once again from the plus frames, and you will get the bait.
Once again.
Oh.
Okay,
I'm very confused.
some optimal meter build, perhaps, from Dims with that choice of combo. But it looks like it was about to drop that combo, so...
Yeah.
Especially with that lag.
Probably a throw is better as well, but I'm gonna trust the young one. Gonna trust Dims on this one.
It depends, because it was 2 hits, right? So maybe with 2 hits it was actually better for meter build here. Difficult to say.
Insisting on that low 4, and you will find the mark.
Yes, and this is set point for Dims, so getting this much of a health lead in this round is pretty crucial, and now he gets
There's a
streets into
burnout.
burnout. And if he's
People
going
find
to
his way.
be able to force him to block something, he is going to be able to force a checkmate, but Street manages to burn out Dims itself instead, so no checkmate situations just yet.
Very good backdash there to avoid the Rhino Horn though. And Dims will of course definitely not the first time I've seen this this type of situation.
Yeah, I'm not going to call any names, but
Of course. Of course, we need to be professional as always.
this is a situation that does happen. Oh, and we see perfect parry, and of course, Manon, one of those characters who get the most, arguably, from perfect parries, because the damage is heavily scaled, the drive damage is heavily scaled, but the medal, you get a full medal every time if you go for the punish counter throw,
Exactly.
command grab.
Full
from
value
those
on the
parries.
chip.
Yeah. And he's on 4 medals already. And gets the combo, gets the OD overhead to combo here. And a little bit too far to combo out of that punish counter special overhead. But he's going to take Rapid into the corner. That being said, Rapid decides to switch up the tempo a little bit with that level 2. Get some damage, get some drive damage more importantly. And Lechat is going to be put in burnout now. And the question is, do you even go for a reversal if you if Rapid were to go for a DI? Because I think you would rather save that meter for round 3.
Yeah,
And I think
Tell me.
Lechat was of the same opinion, because it didn't go for any reversal in that chip out string.
I was looking
Set. Rapid is going for level 2 again, and this is going to put Lechat very close to very low HP. That being said, he is in the CA range, so that level 3 is going to hurt. Exactly. 4 medals as well.
and CA as well.
Yeah,
A lot
this
of
is
damage
going
on that drive gauge.
Not quite in the yellow yet, but next hit should kill for either player, and Rapid is the one who gets the next hit and puts himself on the board first. Oh, the Amnesia is going to block that overhead, common grab.
You will find the stand fierce punish counter.
Yes, and it seems to me that Rapid very much prioritizes the drive gauge in this matchup. Even went for the DI combo, as in comboed into a DI. He really wants to put Lechat in burnout, but he ends up getting put in burnout himself. That means that with this amount of health, he's going to be able to find that one more hit, he's going to be able to take that round.
Oh, that was
Okay.
quite peculiar. It worked indeed.
Yeah, you've heard of Drive Rush Special, how about Drive Rush into Withdraw? And then into Special.
Exactly. The
That
more
being
the
said-
merrier, as they usually say.
That being said, a lot of drive spent at the beginning of this round, and I think he is going to pay the price for it, because yeah, this is just going to be a round for Lechat in the end. And now both players with free bars for that final round. That being said, Lechat only on 2 medals. Oh, that level 2 is going to find its mark though. Still keeping one more bar to have access to a reversal. Oh, and resets into command grab instead of going for the target combo, and goes into level 1 and equalizes the set. We have 1-1. And this those 2 rounds were very, very dominant for Leshat, so I wonder if it was just Rapid dropping the ball a little bit, especially that round 2, I think you could say that. Or is this Leshat adapting to what Rapid is doing?
Honestly, it does seem to be a little bit of both. Non-paradoxically speaking, it seems to be quite a bit of both. This being a very, very contested match though.
Yes, Rapid showing that he has a command grab as well, and you need to respect it too. Oh, once again waking up with OD amnesia. We've seen quite a few OD amnesias from Rapid. Oh, but that hit grab is going to spin through the projectile, and now we're going to get the round and get 4 medals in the first round as well. Really good position for the shot now.
You see the departure being used. He's gonna get corner control from it. What's the setup? He's gonna land the departure once again. And
we're going for level 2. And goes for immediate throw. He's going to pick up a small combo from this. Oh, interrupts the overhead from that reverse cancel. Very important. That being said, Rapid finds a hit, the final hit of that round, and we're going to go into the final round.
Ooh. Okay. We'll get the corner from this as well. A good counter hit confirm here from Rapid as well.
Yeah, he's slowly building back the meter. He wants to be able to get one more mix-up with the level 2. And with this hit, a level 2... Oh, he actually combos into level 2. I'm a little bit surprised. I would have expected him to actually go for a level 2 mix-up instead. That being said, I guess if the combo puts you in a situation where you just need to find a throw to kill, that's just as good.
It was quite the tricky setup that he did there.
Yeah, that as well. So yeah, but I was expecting him to go for just a level 2 setup, because hitting that one would also put him in a winning situation. Well, that being said, many of his opponents were just comfortable taking punish counter throw. But I think punish counter throw would have been enough, no? In that situation.
In that situation, yeah. I think so, yeah.
That being said, Rapid already on match point. On set point even.
He does find the jump in, and you will find the -3 into the hit grab. Sorry, into the command grab.
Yes, and I think we've seen Leshat mix up that command grab in that situation a little bit with not finishing the target combo as well. But we haven't seen him actually go for overhead that often. Or even at all, I think.
Yeah. Very, very
So maybe
true.
that's something to keep an eye out.
Finds the crouch medium punch, but not a sizable conversion. This time around though, he's gonna build 3 medals. And he does have the opportunity now to equalize the score in the set.
Yeah, that's true. Doesn't have any super bars though for this round 3, whereas Rapid has 3 bars. And I think we're going to go into level 2 very shortly. Or maybe not yet. Instead we're going into a level 3 actually. One more hit and he is going to take that set. Oh, doesn't get the shimmy. Oh, but finds the overhead to end the set, and Rapid is going to be the one moving into...
With us, Yannick, so we're gonna have, of course, JP versus Elena, at least, of course, in this first match.
Let's see if he's going to be able to keep that Elena out, because that was also a problem in that previous set between those two.
Exactly. Ooh, the COVID handshake as we as we call it in Portugal, that interaction.
What interaction again? What
The both players whipping the throw.
Oh, okay.
We call it the COVID handshake. Of course, some dark times that all of the world traversed, but making a little bit of fun is always commendable sometimes.
When you whiff a throw in front of your opponent, and they also whiff a throw, but they mistime it, so it's punishable. We sometimes call it a Krakowian shimmy in Poland.
Yeah, that's a good one as well. Oh my god. I need to start like getting some notes on these because they are honestly quite artistic to say the least. They're really cool. Krakowian handshake, you said.
Krakowian shimmy.
Oh, Krakowian shimmy. My bad. Okay. Krakowian shimmy.
Yeah, with the throw right in front of your opponent to make them whiff it as well, so they get punished.
Oh my god.
Usually not intentional. But sometimes perhaps.
Sometimes it could be a layer, maybe layer 33, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Streets is gonna take the first match indeed on this loser's final set. We do see Rapid remaining with the JP, staying with the JP.
Yes, I'm expecting him to go all the way with JP regardless of result. That being said, this set so far looking similar to how the first set between those two looked like. So we need to see some adaptation from Rapid if he wants to move on to the grand final.
Good block there on the mix. And he will get the stand medium punch confirm.
Oh, and calls out the OD Amnesia with that jump.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've seen Rapid get called out on those Amnesia in the previous set as well. And I think we've seen him be very eager to use Amnesia in this tournament run so far. So maybe he needs to adjust it for this player matchup a little bit. Doesn't quite well to the projectile though, the Streets, and he is going to be put in burnout, immediately going to be put in stun. And I think a little bit controversial decision from Rapid. I guess you could argue that doing it instantly makes it a little bit harder to predict. That being said, he didn't get much of a benefit from putting Streets in burnout. He only got the cash out on the stun combo.
Exactly. And with that being said,
He still gets the round though.
Exactly. Ooh,
Oh, yeah, of course. That whiffs on crouches. So you have to be careful when you go into that target combo with Elena.
Very good check there. Question is, how much will you spend? Not anything at all, actually.
Manages to jump out of the corner, and oh, I was going to say we're going to see level 2 soon, but that's not the level 2 I was thinking about.
Ooh, goes for the healing? Okay. Now I'm curious. Okay, maybe because... Yeah, maybe because of the CA, maybe?
Maybe? It wasn't going to kill if you went for damage, right?
Probably not. Yeah, probably not. So I guess that the healing is indeed a very reasonable decision. Very good checks though from Streets.
Oh, what? He gets the egg throw into the corner. Oh, tries to go for a DI Rapid. Interesting decision. Doesn't get punished for it though.
Good air to air there from Streets.
Yes, and it seems like Streets is in control. That being said, a reversal hitting from Rapid finally. Oh, I'm not sure he wanted the portal here. Seemed like a very risky spot for setting up something like this. Oh, and once again a call out on OD Amnesia, and Streets is going to put himself on set point now.
possibility of doing a very, very clean set when it comes to the result, and there it is.
This time that DI gets reacted to, and I feel like with those DIs coming out from Rapid, we can call a little bit of desperation, yeah. I'm not sure what he's looking at, but it looks very desperate, those DIs. I don't think it's quite going to kill just yet, because of the scaling.
Yeah, quite a lot of scaling on those VRCs.
But very difficult situation to be in, because, oh, once again a call out on Amnesia. But I was going to say, even a chip was a threat to the win.
For sure. Definitely a very, very capable and young player from France. But Streets, definitely one of the best German players that we have in the OOC as well.
Yeah, that is true.
So far, so good for Streets in terms of health advantage, getting some pokes in.
Ooh, okay. Or maybe that's what Rapid was looking for with those DIs. Sims manages to get it.
Okay, the jump throw bait from Dims. Doesn't even need the super as well because of the stocks. Very good news for him for sure. And he will claim the first round of these grand final set.
Good spacing trap from Dims. And we keep applying that pressure to Streets. That being said, Streets manages to fight his way out of the corner for now. But it seems that DI has a little bit made Streets a little bit more hesitant to try to spin through those fireballs.
It is indeed one of the counters.
Yes, and that has allowed Dims to play a lot more proactively in the neutral, I feel like. And now he's going to go into level 2, backdashes instead of pressuring, but finds the hit here, the whiff punish. Doesn't really need anything from the level 2, just the regular hit was enough. And game 1 goes to Dims.
Exactly. Starting off very, very well for sure.
Oh, and that DI hits. That was just a crouching medium kick from Streets, but I suppose the crouching medium kick is not cancelable for Elena, right? She has to go to the target combo.
Exactly. Not even super cancelable if I recall correctly, but I will indeed check. Yes, only target combo cancelable.
Yes, but now it's Streets who manages to find a DI of his own against bent out Dims. And he's going to take that round. Dims anti-airing with that crouching medium punch. I was told the button was nerfed. Some Yuri mains have been very sad about it, but I've seen, I don't remember who it was, but I've seen one Yuri main saying that it doesn't really matter, that it's still a good button. So I'm not sure what to think.
Yeah, it does seem to be quite good still, but I will trust the jury mains. Maybe the majority of them, but yeah, the button's still probably really good.
My general rule is, as long as I find one person from that community who doesn't complain, I'm going to assume it's fine.
Exactly.
That being said, Street manages to equalize the set, for now.
In a very fast manner as well. And there's the EX roll into the cycle harvest.
Yes, decides to go for it still, despite those DIs hitting the mark.
Or rather, it's harvest cycle, not cycle harvest. I got it a little bit mixed. It's harvest cycle. The medium follow-up.
neither player finding a big hit just yet in this round.
Both being very patient, of course. Dim spending a little bit on that DRC. Dims will get the drive reversal though, and corner control from it. Very good for the heavy punch confirm.
Oh, good call out on that DPOS. Really good call out. Of course, that DI is a counter to that DPOS, because the idea with DPOS is the DI is going to come out if your opponent doesn't do a full block string, and of course DI is not a full block string. And you have enough armor to go through the ODDP, and oftentimes you have enough frame advantage on that to get some kind of punish on it.
Exactly. Talking about OS is very, very good level 1 here from Dims, catching that jump back attempt from Streets.
Yes, of course, that call out is also a little bit cost. Oh!
Another wish confirmed for today. That
yes.
missed.
Yeah, I think it's the third one today. Yes, and now without the super bar, Dims is going to be able to land that stun without any trouble. And we're going into the third round.
Exactly. Whoever wins, of course, is going to establish a 2-1 lead in the set.
Oh, going into that target combo that with some crouches, Dims ready to punish it. Oh, we're pressing buttons. Oh, but once again,
Rhino Horn also doesn't hit on crouching opponents.
Yes, and what should have been a punish for Streets instead became a punish for Dims, and that punish is going to put him 2-1 in that set.
And so
one game away from winning the whole tournament.
Exactly. Definitely looking good. Both players looking good, to be fair, but some critical mistakes from Streets are costing him quite a bit.
Yes, and the first time those two players met, it was 3-1 for Dims, and it seems that Dims wants to make it the same in this set as well. Oh,
very, very unlucky not to get that confirmed.
Yes, and Street manages to turn this into a side switch, and it's Dims in the corner now. And let's see, is he going to be able to pressure Dims in the corner to get this round? He really needs this win. He's going into level 1 here. Again, we see those level 1s. He's not going to have to spend it here, I think. Yeah, to kill. He's going to get that round. I really wonder what the idea is with those level 1s though.
Yeah, they're quite strange to me as well, Yannick. They're quite strange to me as well. But nonetheless, Dims is gonna get a very, very important confirm here to start off the second round.
Oh, almost burnt out, but now it's going to be Dims who gets
Healing,
burnt out.
most likely? Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes for the healing
Mostly
indeed.
for the drive, right?
Yeah. I would definitely say mostly for the drive.
But Dims manages to find a hit, and he's going to go into level 3. That's going to lead him out of burnout, basically.
Ooh, there's the ODDP though. -1 on that
Yes,
light
but
follow-up. Ooh,
Okay.
very good.
Manages to break the DI armor with lights, and that was pretty close. Dims went a little bit too early with that DI, because he could have gotten some kind of checkmate, I feel like. That being said, he manages to find the hit. And it's set a tournament point for Dims. Both players pretty low on super meter though.
Some very, very heavy poking from Streets, gnawing away at that drive gauge from Dims, but he's still recovering it pretty fast.
Is there no way for Elena to punish those stocks on block?
Stand light kick is probably the best one.
Yeah, because it's -6, right?
Yeah, stand light kick is for sure the longest reaching normal that she has for that. Because stand medium kick is 6 on the startup, but it is of course a pressure normal, naturally a little bit more stubby. Stand light kick is
Dims is very close to finishing this tournament. Goes into burnout. One more hit is going to do it and
the
gets the
instant
instant overhead. And that instant overhead is going to secure the tournament for him. And Dim